So we were on the way home from visiting my parents today, and I got an alert from Craigslist, which I've had set up for the last 3 or 4 months, for a hybrid for sale for $1,000. It's a white Toyota Prius. It says the triangle is up, which means there's a hybrid system problem. And this is actually what I've been looking for. Usually that's just a battery that's weak, so it can either be grid charged or replace the battery or replace some of the cells. Yeah, I would think it's probably gonna be under $1,000 to fix. So he listed it for $1,000. It's only got 127,000 miles on it, which for a Prius of this era, I think this is like a 2007, 2008, it's a pretty good deal. It's just one of those cars where last 3 or 4 months I'm like, I'd like to go grab one of these and drive it for a bit, or maybe the wife will want to drive it. So I called him. It had been up for 13 minutes by the time that I got the listing from Craigslist. Their email notification system, I guess, goes through in batches, which is understandable because they probably have a lot of people to go through, and having it live would be very resource intensive. So I called as soon as I could and got his voicemail and figured it's probably gone by now. Anyway, so about 30 minutes later, though, I got a call back from him. So I ran out to look at it. So that's where I'm at now. We went and looked at the car. He started it up. It starts up fine. It was trapped in the driveway, but really that's the deal. He advertised it as a running Prius that's got the triangle, and that's what it is. It's actually looks like it might have fairly new tires on it. It actually looks pretty clean inside. It's not destroyed. I went and looked at one for $2,500 or $3,000, and it was a mechanic that owned it, and so the interior was just trashed because it had so much grease and grime and everything on it. But he's coming out. Wanted to finish out that story. He came out and we went to transfer the title and grab all of his things out of the car. The Prius is quite dirty inside. He had a pit bull with lots of hair to shed. There's lots of hair to go around. I wanted to say that the experience I had with this person on Craigslist was amazing. A lot of people on Craigslist are not upstanding people. He listed it for $1,000. He actually put his address in the Craigslist listing, which is something most people don't do, and probably for good reason. I was the first person that had called him, and so he had given me first dibs. I was there within 20 minutes of him calling me back after I left a voicemail. While I was there, somebody showed up and wanted to give him $1,500, $2,000 for the car, and he told them, no, I don't do business that way. I promised it to this person, me. He gets first dibs on the car, and he stayed true to his word, even though the person driving very slowly next to us as we're walking over to the car in his $80,000 Lexus SUV keeps trying to bug him about giving him $2,000 for the Prius that he hasn't even seen. It was a good experience. The guy was nice, kind of chatted it up a little bit, talked to him about auctions. He had actually bought this from the city of Austin a couple years ago, used the car as his daily driver for a while. He had plenty of other cars around and needed to get rid of many of them because the city was bugging him about them, which really meant that a neighbor was bugging him about them. So it was a good experience. Came back later to grab the car with the wife and got to drive home. Well, we grabbed the Prius. This is now my maiden voyage because I did not actually get to test drive it. Definitely have our red triangle. I've got looks like tire pressure monitoring, which is understandable, and a check engine light. Definitely doesn't seem to have much power because it's probably not running any electric motor, which is expected. Well, that's actually not too bad. And it's got 1.5 liters, right? So we'll get this thing home, hopefully without getting pulled over. I've got the title with me in case anybody asks me why I'm driving, and it's probably got expired registration. Yeah, it looks like it expired in August of last year, so we'll see how this goes. So I was coming on an off ramp from the highway, and I got this extra main battery symbol came up on the screen, and it seems that I've gone into some sort of a limp mode. I'm maxed out at about 45, 50 miles an hour, it seems, and the engine's operating at very high RPM. It's like it's maxing out the RPM. Maybe it's trying to keep the battery charged, I don't know. So the Earlier it was accelerating fine, but now it's just quite sluggish. This is 3/4 throttle. So we'll get there. We'll get there, but I just want to document this. Did make it back the other night in limp mode without any other incident. Parked the car. The next night I spent cleaning out the garage so that I could fit the car in here so that I could then work on it. So I now have the battery taken apart, and I will upload another video on how that is going. If you're interested in how that's gonna go and what I decide to do with the battery to get this car back up and running, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And you should probably hit that bell icon so that you get a notification when I upload the next video. Till then, see y'all later.